you've only had 2 missiles which got through, causing light injuries. One hit a park, one hit an empty school. The Israeli response, of course, in part is to say to the Houthis, you can't do this, we'll hit you back. And so they hit overnight Sana'a airport, they hit several ports, killing 6 people. But the Israeli response is also tied to domestic issues. And that is that as Benjamin Netanyahu wages the open-ended war in Gaza, and as he had attacked Lebanon as well, he's going to keep the pressure on Yemen because he cannot afford a ceasefire. He cannot afford a de-escalation because once he does, he faces early elections and he faces legal problems. Because remember, the bribery trial against Netanyahu is now ongoing. And just yesterday, his wife has been accused of witness intimidation.
Interesting. Those are some of the pressing domestic issues. Do continue to stay on with us. This, of course, is a big story that we are tracking here and beyond. These are tit-for-tat attacks, and the logic that is being given is that Netanyahu's intention is now to do to the Houthis what he's done with the Hezbollah in Lebanon. But the question, of course, is there is a huge amount of distance between the state of Israel and the Houthis who are operating from Yemen. Remember, the Houthis are also a crucial part of the Iranian-backed axis of resistance. It now remains to be seen as to how this phase of the campaign by the Israelis, of course, proceeds. Remember, Benjamin Netanyahu is also at this moment facing serious charges of corruption, and we have with us Professor Scott Lucas. Professor Lucas is facing these serious charges of corruption, and the minute the war in the Gaza Strip were to come to an end, possibly Netanyahu may in fact be prosecuted in the cases of corruption that he's facing, and he could end up losing his political career. Is that what the calculation is for Netanyahu?
I think that's been the calculation for Benjamin Netanyahu ever since October 2023. Now, I don't want to downplay the fact that Hamas, because of its mass killing inside Israel, of course, gave Netanyahu the legitimacy to attack Gaza and to continue attacking Gaza, as well as to attack other countries, such as Yemen. But I think we are at the point where if Netanyahu cannot get those 100 Israeli hostages back that Hamas still holds, some of them dead, some alive, he cannot satisfy the basic desire of the Israeli people. We want all our fellow citizens back. And if he can't satisfy that desire, he's the one who'll be held accountable for what will be seen as a failure. So what do? You just keep attacking. So while we talk about the attacks on Yemen, in the past 24 hours in Gaza, we've seen attacks on 3 hospitals, for example, one of them being raided by the Israelis today, and we've seen 5 journalists amongst the latest casualties.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Professor Scott Lucas, for joining us and getting us all those details there.
Thank you.
Moving on, a New York Times report claims that the Israeli military loosened its rules of engagement at the start of the Gaza war in order to allow its commanders to hit Hamas targets despite a heightened risk of civilian casualties. The newspaper said that immediately after the October 7, 2023 attack by Hamas, the Israeli army granted its commanders the authority to strike a wide range of targets where up to 20 civilians risked being killed. According to this order, the IDF troops did not require to target militants when they were alone and could hit them when they were at home with their relatives and neighbors. The military also reportedly removed a limit on the cumulative number of civilians that the strikes could put at risk each day.